Assalamu alaikum. Does Quran talks about black holes? If so, where? Before I explain you where Quran talks about black holes, as understood by modern mufassirin, I would like to first of all tell you what is a black hole, how black holes are formed, and what are the different types of black holes. Once you understand that, you will be able to easily understand when I tell you the details. So black holes are formed when a massive star reaches the end of its life and implodes, collapsing in on itself. The collapse causes a supernova explosion that blows off the star's outer layers. The most well-understood black holes are created this way. A black hole takes up zero space, but does have a mass. Originally, most of the mass that used to be a star. Black holes get bigger, technically more massive, as they consume matter near them. Black holes are typically divided into two types. One of the black holes is a stellar black hole. How are stellar black holes created? Well, gravitational collapse of a massive star, which is more than 20 solar masses, when it exhausts its nuclear fuel in the core, the collapse triggers a supernova explosion that blows off the star's outer layer. Black holes take up zero space, as I told you, but have mass originally from the star. They can also form through the merger of compact stellar remnants or gravitational collapse of dense regions of matter in the universe. Black holes typically have three fundamental properties: mass, electric charge, and angular momentum. Now let's look at the second type of black holes, which are called the supermassive black holes. These are very large black holes that exist at the center of galaxies. Their origin is uncertain, but some possible scenarios are the collapse of massive clouds of gas or supermassive stars in the early universe. Or the merger of smaller black holes could also result in a supermassive black hole. Supermassive black holes can grow by feeding on smaller objects like stars and gas. They're different from stellar mass black holes, which form from the collapse of massive stars. So stellar mass black holes are formed from the collapse of massive stars at the end of their lives, while supermassive black holes are found at the center of galaxies and have a mass of millions of suns. While we are talking about black holes, let's also talk about the quasars. A quasar is an extremely luminous active galactic nucleus, which is usually abbreviated as AGN, standing for active galactic nucleus. It is sometimes also abbreviated as QSO. The emission from an active galactic nucleus, or AGN, is powered by a supermassive black hole, with a mass ranging from millions to tens of billions of solar masses, surrounded by gaseous accretion disk. So quasars are galaxies with massive black holes at their cores. The accretion disk around the black hole becomes very hot and emits all the light. The radiations produced by the accretion disk is ultraviolet, visible, and infrared. The visible light mostly comes from the accretion disk, while the infrared light comes from a larger outlying torus. In this picture, it's quite evident how accretion disks are and where are they placed. Remember, an accretion disk is a hot disk of gas orbiting the black hole and its main source of light. So once you have understood these terminologies, now let's dive into Quran. In Quran, in Surah At-Tariq, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about وَالسَّمَاءِ وَالطَّارِقِ, by the heaven and the Tariq. Tariq, as some mufassirin in these times have translated it as the knocker. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then asks, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا الطَّارِقِ, what will tell you what the Tariq is, what the knocker is? You don't understand what it is. So hear me. النجم الثاقب, it is the piercing star. Now, these verses speak about a star which has two significant features. One is, it is a piercing star, and the other it is the one that knocks something hard enough to make sound. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these verses coupled his oath by heaven regarding its greatness with the piercing star, which means that there is a relationship between both. The question now is, how do these verses indicate black holes? Now, as I told you what black hole is, we understand that they're massive. They have huge mass, even though they do not cover any space, and they have a great gravitational pull. So a black hole is a region of space-time where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, and other electromagnetic waves is capable of possessing enough energy to escape it. Black holes are the most violent and mysterious phenomenon in the sky. And the verse describe this as a piercing star, which is a more accurate description because the matter of the collapsed star, which is condensed in singularity, is the reason of forming the black hole. So the star itself, still there, condensed, causing the existence of this empty space called black hole, but with the idea of calling it a piercing star makes it so much more sense, because now you're actually describing not only the empty space, but you're describing the matter of star condensed in singularity and the whole of empty space caused by this matter. And as I already told you that there are two different types of black holes. One is the stellar black hole, and the other one is a supermassive black hole. It is the supermassive black hole that we are more interested in, according to this verse. And as we understood, that supermassive black hole is so humongous that it exceeds all limits of imagination. If you know that the mass of a stellar black hole can reach 30 times that of a solar mass, the mass of supermassive black holes can reach 10 billion times solar mass. So the piercing star, which is condensed in a tiny volume, causing the supermassive black hole, is considered to be the most massive star in the universe. Scientists for a very long time have wondered, how does a quasar produce such tremendous luminosity despite its distance from us? And the answer lies in the supermassive black hole that I explained to you. The verse mentions by the heaven and the tariq, وَالسَّمَاءِ وَالطَّارِقِ, the knocker. And what will tell you what the tariq is? The piercing star states that the piercing star, which we explained its relation to supermassive black hole, has another significant feature, as the verse called it a tariq, the knocker. So how does the piercing star and the resultant supermassive black hole knock? Part of the matter of the accretion disk rotating supermassive black hole, which is about to fall in the supermassive black hole, is re-emitted as relativistic jets, which are extremely powerful twin jets of plasma being shot along the axis of spin of the accretion disk, having a velocity at the speed of light. This jet knocks hardly and strongly anything in its way and for long distances. And due to the movement of this plasma jet, it knocks the interstellar and the intergalactic medium, producing real sound waves. In September 9th, 2003, astronomers using NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory have found for the first time sound waves from a supermassive black hole. This supermassive black hole resides in the Perseus cluster of galaxies located 250 million light years from Earth. The note is the deepest ever detected from any object in our universe. Now imagine how great the miracle in the verse is. The piercing star and the resultant supermassive black hole knocks the intergalactic medium with relativistic jets, and as a result of this knocking, real sound is produced. And Quran says, by the heaven and the knocker. And what will you understand what the knocker is? It is the piercing star. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these verses coupled his oath by heavens regarding its greatness with the piercing star, which means that there is a fundamental relationship between this type of star and all what we see in the sky from stars and galaxies. And this is only from one surah of the Quran. This is not the only place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about this. If you open Surah Al-Haqqa and look at its ayah number 16, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَانشَقَّتِ السَّمَاءُ فَهِيَ يَوْمَئِذٍ وَاهِيَةٌ. And all the heavenly bodies will split apart and this universe will come to comprise. And what does this comprise? Black hole. By means of a force which coordinates and keeps the system going. And now you must be wondering, where did we come up with this word black hole in this ayah? It is the word wahiya. The word wahiya means wear and tear of some leather, cloth, or similar substance with a hole developing in it. So if you stretch a cloth or leather or something similar, and as a result of the stretch, a hole gets developed. So statements like cloth is worn with a hole in it, which is an Arabic statement, وَهِيَ الثَّوْبُ أَنْ أَنْشَقَّ وَاتَّخَرَّقَ, as comes in the very famous dictionary called Al-Mufradat, Lisan al-Arab, Qamus al-Muhit, Al-Munjad. Several different dictionaries have explained this word wahiya. In modern science, we can certainly call it black hole. Similarly, in Surah Al-Waqi'ah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِمَوَاقِعِ النُّجُومِ وَإِنَّهُ لَقَسَمٌ لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عَظِيمٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking an oath on the places of the stars, the mawaqi'. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that if you understand this, you will understand how great of an oath is this. That's why in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that you must ponder over the universe. And that is one of the signs of a believer is that إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. There are signs of the creation of the skies and the universe and all the planets and the change of the day and the night. And those people who are remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all conditions, they are the one who are وَيَتَفَكَّرُونَ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. They're the one who are thinking in the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the heavens and the universe. These are the thinkers. And it's not just thinking, they are actually doing experiments. They're doing research. They're trying to find the answers to the question. And these stars, as they go through different placements, which are called the mawaqi', until they die. So different stages of the stars, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes an oath as of different stages of stars till it reaches a point where it dies out completely. And Quran talks about the other astronomical concepts and topics and objects. Inshallah, we will talk about them at some other time. And let me know in the comment section below if today's lecture was something that you learned from. And I hope it was not very difficult for you to comprehend and understand. And inshallah, we will continue to talk about this in our coming lectures as well. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Assalamu alaikum.